Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode. This is episode 3. If you haven't seen the previous 2 episodes, I recommend you go back and watch those. But we're back in the same world here, and I've made quite a few changes off camera. I went back to watch the last video at the end of it to see what I said what I was going to do, but it felt like I did a lot more than that. But anyway, I'll show you around. Today's kind of project is going to be getting the house built. But I just wanted to show you kind of where we're sitting. So this is that same little hut that we had before. I just dug one block in. I kind of made it a little kind of a jet carrier kind of theme going on there, but just got the bed and a couple of chests kind of filled with garbage at the moment, building supplies and things like that. Furnace, workbench. That's hasn't changed. The farm that was right over here, this is what had our cows and our sheep in it. I didn't really like it. It was just kind of sitting here with fences around it. Pretty lazy farm going on there. So I moved that over here into a pit that I dug out, and I will actually show you that process of building this farm right now. Alrighty, now that you've seen that, you can kind of see how it came together, and it's a really kind of a simple farm, but it's actually an idea I stole from my brother. It's and I just thought it was cool, kind of had the checkerboard thing going on. He did his with diorite and granite, polished diorite and granite, but I did mine with polished diorite and polished andesite instead, because our house is going to include some andesite, so I thought it'd be kind of more fitting than the granite. I've never really liked the look of the granite, so even the polished is kind of I'm not a fan of it, so I just did the andesite and the diorite instead. But it seems to work pretty well, and it's a lot more interesting and a lot more permanent looking than just having a fence around a couple of cows over there. Put a little water pit in there. As soon as I get some bones, I'll probably grow a little bit of tall grass in there and kind of spice it up a little bit. But it's nice, and I got some stairs there, and I probably what I'll do is have a second enclosure right here so that you can come in here, close it, and then you still can go in here, and then even if a cow gets out through this opening, it can't get out there. But that's down the road when we have lots and lots of cows in here, and whatever else we decide to put in there. But it's a big enough pit that we can expand upon it if we want. It wouldn't be too hard to just dig it out more and then replace the blocks around it wherever we want to make it fit if it needs to get bigger at some point. But for now, it works. Let's sleep real quick, and then I'll lay out the house plan for you. It's going to be a fairly basic house. It's going to be actually right where my mouse cursor is. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor in the recording or not, but it's going to be right there where those two pieces of cobblestone are. And that's for a very specific reason. If you remember in the last episode, we found this, well, actually right down beneath this is a spider spawner. And eventually we're going to turn that into a mob trap and XP farm. But for now I just have it marked with a pillar here so I know where it is. But I brought it up to the surface so I can know where it is in relation to where all my other stuff's going to be. And I put some stone walls around this cave entrance here. And this is probably going to be where our actual mining entrance is. But I'm building my house over there for the fact that this cave actually connects up right over here. And I've covered most of it, if not all of it. Maybe I covered all of it. But I think if you dig, like right in this area, bam, right next to our house. So when we build this house and then we want to build a basement or whatever, we can connect that basement up and then turn this entrance here into a hallway that leads right to the spider spawner and our other cave entrance. So we can have a whole kind of network underneath the house, and it's wouldn't be all that hard because I'm setting it up, kind of playing the long game on that and having it set up for us. So that's where the house is going to be, and that's why it's being placed here. Also, I just kind of like having a spruce forest right behind the house. If we have windows on the back side here, you can just kind of look out at the spruce forest. You can see the jungle over there. And I think eventually when we actually get our full-fledged farm set up, I'll replace the crop around this little pond with sugarcane, and that could be a nice viewing angle from outside the window as well. So yeah, I'm kind of setting it up in my head, but this is where the house is going to be, and I've already got a little bit of a design laid out for you, and I'm going to show that to you on my creative test world. So let me switch over to that, and I'll see you in just a second. Alright, so I'm here in my creative test world, and you can kind of see what I've been working out here in the palette that we're using. You can see down on my hotbar kind of the items that I intend on using throughout this build, and it's a pretty basic shape, as in just kind of a classic L shape. And the roof design, of course, you've seen that lots of times before, but the point here is not to be out there. It's just to have a nice starter home that we can expand upon if we need to. Lots of room on the inside so we can have second story if we want to do that. Have a loft or something, and then room to put a staircase that, again, in the real actual Let's Play world, that little cave system's right over in this area, so we can do a staircase there and then connect up. It'd be pretty easy to do, and I've just worked this out on this creative world here to kind of just figure out. I've never built a roof like this. I've seen them lots of times, the roofs that kind of have that what's the word I'm looking for? It's a math word. Never excelled at math words, but anyway, adjacent, that's the word. The adjacent aligning roofs, and I've never built one like that, so I had to figure out in this creative world how to connect them up properly. But it doesn't seem like it's that difficult, especially now that you can corner the stairs. It'll make it look real nice and smooth, and there's still some tweaking I'm going to do to it, but the proportions of the house I've figured out so that between every pillar is a odd number, and that's kind of an important thing for me, especially at the front. I don't like having double doors or triple doors. It just looks stupid. It's just a lot easier to have one door. And the way that you do that is by making your walls odd numbers. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can see 13 there. And I believe it's 9 right here. You've got 5 here, 5 here, and then 7 here. So it's very odd number oriented. And that's by design to make windows and doors fit a lot nicer and a lot more symmetrically into the build. So now that you've seen kind of what I'm going for, let's get back into the regular world and start fleshing it out. All right, guys, back here in the survival world, and you can kind of see here I've laid out the same proportions that we had in the test world, and that's what we're going to be kind of basing this on. The trick here is going to be getting enough polished andesite to actually do everything I want to do. Let's go take a look real quick to see how much I have right now. I don't think it's much. That's all I've got for the andesite, so we're definitely going to have to collect some more. But for now, we can kind of lay out the same proportions we had. So let's fill this area in, and we can visualize how it's going to look, and confirm that it is in fact the same proportions. Never mind, I'm not even going to have enough to do that. This is a relatively large house, actually. So I'm going to have to go collect some andesite, and I will do that off camera, of course. But you can kind of see where we're going with it, and I'm not going to bore you building the entire house on video. That would be a little bit redundant, considering I've just showed you on the creative world how it's gonna turn out. But I'm gonna collect some andesite and build it up a little bit, and I'll keep you updated as I go on the progress that's being made and any tweaks I do. So I will catch you in just a second. Alright, guys, so I've made a little bit of progress on the house here. As you can see, I'm working out the roof, and I did make one small change. I went ahead and raised the pillars up one more, so the house is going to be one block taller than it would have been. You can see I got the front worked out a little bit here. I think probably what I'll do is throw some cobble in places to mix it up a bit. So you can see here, I'll just throw some cobble around to kind of break up the monotony and have a little bit of more interest in the build. But for the most part, this is kind of what the front's going to look like. You know, we'll have cobblestone and things like that to break up the stuff. But this is more or less it. Roof overhangs one block, and yeah, that's basically it. Pretty basic house. 2 windows in the front and a door, but I think it looks all right. And I got some scaffolding here. Thank God we got that bamboo from earlier. But yeah, so you know what? Scaffolding is so handy, I tell you. I've never used it before this, but it's very, very much useful. We'll see if I like the cobblestone or just leaving it kind of all the andesite. But anyway, this is where we're at. Probably going to finish up most of it before I get back to you again. But I wanted to give you an update kind of mid build so you can see where we're at. And yeah. Alright, I'll get back to you when we have more of a finished product here. Alright, guys, I'm back with you now, and I've got more of a finished product here. This is more or less a completed structure. I have not obviously done the interior yet, or any flooring or anything like that, but the exterior, minus the windows, is done. And so let's take a look at it, and I'll just give you a short walkthrough of this at the end of this episode here. But it's fairly nice. I haven't roughed it up yet with the cobblestone. I still don't know if I like that or not. You know, you look at this side and okay, it looks good, but this side also looks very clean. Obviously, I got to do something up there. That's a lot of empty space up there. I did upside down stairs here, and I did that actually all along the outside of the house. So it's almost a continuing line that goes all the way around the house. Oh, except right here. Whoopsie daisies. Do I have any more stairs? I do. I like it. I think it breaks up the monotony, and yeah, it works. But like I said, I got some blank spaces above the log line here. I got some blank space up there I got to deal with. Just kind of rough it up a bit, make it look a little interesting. Excuse me, but other than that, This is a completed exterior, and we'll have to do the interior probably off camera. I don't see a need to do it all on camera. This is quite the lengthy third episode. I don't know how long it'll be when you see it, if you see it, but it's certainly lengthy in recording, but it's worth it. We need to get a house set up, and I'm happy with how this has turned out. And yeah. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and drop a like on it. It helps me out and lets me know that you want me to keep going with these, and I'm happy to do that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.